Let's get it. Top of the morning, beautiful people. And I quote. Got a good one this morning, too. Ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll. And I quote. Quote this morning. I should have had this already copied so I could just paste it. But anyway, the quote this morning is, what's the quote this morning? Let's see, have you completed your chores? That's what we're going to talk about this morning. Have you completed your chores? If I could spell, I'd be a bad man. Have you completed your chores? Good morning, my brother. Good morning. And this one is courtesy of, got to give folks their props when I'm clear on who the quote came from. Sometimes I don't remember where it came from. Alrighty, boom, there it is. Have you completed your chores? Give my man Mike his props. Consciously complicated. Top of the morning to you, sis. Alrighty, ready to have a little fun this morning. Let's see here. Trying to, had a little issue yesterday where I went live and shared some information and then the sound magically vanished. So I need to make sure that I'm able to keep this information. So recording over there, recording here, ready to go. I'm going to send this out to a few folks. Do me a favor, if you would, share this with a few of your people so we can get this good information to as many folks as possible. If you're already on here and I invite you, that's all right. Don't even worry about it. I appreciate you. All righty. Hey, Kalita, good morning. All right. Have you finished your chores? That's the quote for this morning. That's what we're going to talk about. Have you finished your chores? This one is courtesy of my man Mike Walton, USAF retired. I had to give him his props, right? I had to put that official stamp on it, right? Have you finished your chores? That's what we're going to talk about, right? Good morning, Big Tom. Yo, my brother on here. What's up, fam? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 8:03. We're not going to wait. We're going to go ahead and dive in. So, have you finished your chores, right? What's that about? Why would I start with a quote like that? So, how do I want to say it? So, many of you remember growing up, and even those of us that are parents, when we have chores, right? We have responsibilities. We have things that we were responsible for taking care of around the house. And the rules stood that you had to finish your chores, whatever your assignment was, whatever your thing was, whichever chore was assigned to you, you had to complete that before moving on to anything else, before going outside to play, right? Before turning on the video game, right? Before, going to the mall to hang out with your friends, whatever you had on your agenda, right? Your caregiver, right? Your parent, grandparent, whomever that may have been, they had these chores that you needed to handle, right? Those chores needed to be completed first and foremost before you could move on to anything else. And so as we move into adulthood, right? And as we transition through life, oftentimes let me back up. No, I'll keep going. Oftentimes we don't complete the chore that's assigned to us. And then we have the expectation that we're going to be blessed. So just stay with me. Don't get lost, right? Here's the example I used, right, when I was first kind of processing this yesterday. Your chore is to clean the kitchen and to wash the dishes, right? Instead of washing the dishes, you notice that the grass needs to be cut. And you go outside and you start cutting the grass. Now, yes, the grass needed to be cut. So you go outside and cut the grass. You look up, you see a pretty bird, and then the bird's in your mouth, right? The bird craps in your mouth. Now you're upset, you're pissed off at the bird, you're cursing God, you're upset with, you're upset with everyone except for yourself. Why is that important? Well, your responsibility, your role, the thing you were supposed to be taking care of, the lane you were supposed to be in was washing the dishes. You took it upon yourself to leave the dishes in the sink and go outside and cut the grass. And then when the bird crapped in your mouth, you had the audacity, you had the nerve to get upset. So why is that important? What am I really saying, right? What I'm really saying is we can't keep on abandoning our purpose, abandoning our responsibilities, abandoning the things that we know we need to do in order to make the progress toward the dreams and goals that we desire for ourselves. What we find ourselves often doing is getting caught up doing other things, right? We find ourselves drifting into this lane and drifting into that lane and dabbling here and dabbling there to avoid often the thing that we're supposed to be doing. So why is that important, right? Well, had I been doing the dishes, I wouldn't have been outside for that bird to crap in my mouth, right? So a lot of times we are experiencing, bumps and bruises, right? Tests, trials, and challenges. We're going through life. Life is happening, right? We're experiencing things that weren't written for us to experience, right? Because we are in alignment, right? Had I been in there washing those dishes, here's the other example that I gave, right? If I was in the kitchen, if I was in my lane doing what I was supposed to be doing, right? Of course, I would still experience test trials and challenges, but they would be my test trials and challenges. You ever feel like you're going through something that's not even applicable to where you're going? You ever find yourself fighting for a cause or a mission or something that's not even tied to your purpose? And of course, all things can work together if we have that type of mindset, right? We can find positive in everything. We can pull the lessons from it as we grow and mature. We develop that. That's a skill. But a lot of that crap we go through was not a sign for us to go through. Parents definitely feel me, right? And, everyone should understand this because we often drift from where we're supposed to be. So think about it. Had I been washing the dishes, I wouldn't have been outside for the bird to crap in my mouth. But let's say, so why is that important? Because here's why it's important. Here's why alignment is important, right? Let's just say, I say God because that's what I believe. You plug in there, whatever you feel. Let's say God had something set up for you and it was supposed to go something like this. You were going to be washing the dishes, and while you were washing that glass, the glass broke and it cut you. And you had to, that doesn't sound great, right? So why do I want to get cut? Just stay with me. Now you were washing the dishes like you were supposed to. You cut your hand on the glass in the sink. Oh man, it won't stop bleeding, so you have to go to urgent care. When you go to urgent care, you meet Johnny, right? You have a great conversation with Johnny while you're waiting. Johnny happens to have a sister who has a friend who owns the very business that you want to pitch, right? Just think about it. So you out back in the yard cutting grass with bird crap in your mouth when you were supposed to be at urgent care meeting Johnny so you can meet his sister Sally so she can introduce you to her friend Sue. But you missed it, right? Life happens that way. Think about the things that happen in your life. Everything is aligned, right? You did this and it put you here, which made you catch this train, right? And then because you caught this train, you met this person on the platform. Had you missed that train and caught the next train, that person wouldn't have been on the platform. You get where I'm going with this? So have you finished your chores, as my man Mike said, right? Have you stuck with the thing long enough? Have you invested the time and the energy and the effort and the money doing the thing that God called you to do, right? And here's the thing, right? Here's one of the things that happens when you're gifted, right? You can actually you're good at cutting grass. You're good at cutting grass, right? You're good at vacuuming rugs. But God told you to do the dishes, right? You're supposed to be doing the dishes, so you're out of alignment. And now you missed the opportunity Watch the language. You missed the opportunity to cut your hand to go to urgent care to meet Johnny so he can introduce you to Sally so she can introduce you to Sue. Right? You missed that opportunity. Right? You missed the opportunity to, when you went to wash the dishes, to realize, oh man, we're out of dish detergent. Let me make a quick Target run where you bump into, Mr. Bob from high school who remembers how much of a knucklehead or how awesome you were, and y'all start having a conversation, and then Mr. Bob tells you he retired from the school, but now he's running a nonprofit and he needs someone with your particular skill set. Ooh, but you was out there cutting the grass, so you didn't realize that you out of dish detergent, so you didn't make the Target run, so you didn't run into Mr. Bob. Have you completed your chores? Or are you doing things and then you have the audacity, right? You have the audacity to be upset and to be angry. Some of us are cursing God, because we're going through these particular tests, trials, and challenges. Some of us are upset that bird crapped in our mouth. And if you're a parent, you definitely understand. You tell your child, don't go around that corner, don't go here, don't do this. And then something happens to him and you're like, told you behind not to go over there. That's how God is looking down at us. Like, okay. Or you've been praying for a thing, right? You've been praying for a thing and God said, okay, wash those dishes, right? And I'm trying not to go too deep and turn this into a church session, but do you love me? Yes, feed my sheep. Do you love me? Yes, feed my sheep. What about them? Don't worry about them. Why can't I be like those two that's just right up under you? Do you love me? Yes, go feed my sheep. What is that to you? Right? And oftentimes we get sidetracked with everything else, right? God told you to wash the dishes and you trying to figure out why your little sister only had to vacuum the rug. That's all she had to do? That's none of your, what's that to you? That's none of your business. So a lot of times we get sidetracked and we get pulled in different directions and we find ourselves out of alignment because we're doing things, we're being disobedient, we're doing things, we're dabbling in things that weren't for us to dabble. And then we have the audacity to be upset, right? To be frustrated. We wonder, why is this? And what is this? And why is that? And oh my God, and da-da-da. Could it be that you missed your alignment? Could it be that the washing the dishes was the thing that was going to lead to the thing that was going to lead to the thing that was going to lead to the thing? But if you didn't do the first thing, you missed it. You missed your train. You caught the wrong train. So again, take a look at your life, right? And make sure that you're completing the tasks that were assigned to you. Make sure that you're operating you see how I broke that word, operating. Make sure that you're operating in your area of expertise, right? Make sure that you're using the gifts that you were given, right? Make sure that you're in the lane that was assigned to you. Now, can you help out over here? Of course, right? Sometimes you do have to go through certain things to learn certain lessons so that you can do certain things, but it still has to be in alignment because guess what? I didn't want to cut my hand to the point where I had to go to urgent care. That's a real cut, right? Where I couldn't just wash my hand, wrap it up, and boom, and it was fine. I literally couldn't. I had to wrap it up and ruin one of my t-shirts and run to urgent care. But then I met Johnny and had a great conversation, right? Who introduced me to his sister, Mary. I think her name was Mary, whatever. Who introduced me to her friend, Sally, right? Who gave me an opportunity, right? So we have to make sure that we are focused, that we are aligned, and that our thoughts, our words, and our actions are aligning with our expectations, right? Think about that. We have these expectations, but then we aren't thinking the thoughts and speaking the words and taking the necessary actions to receive or achieve the thing that we say we expect. Like think about it. Like physical health is always the easy one to kind of paint a picture, right? Okay, I want to lose X amount of pounds. I want to fit into my prom dress. Whatever thing you have, right? That's your business, right? I want to look a certain way. I want to feel a certain way. I want to have a certain amount of energy available to me. But I don't show up at the gym. right? I don't do any sort of exercise. I make poor choices at the table. I grab the menu and I get the biggest steak with the potatoes fully loaded and the this and the that and the this and the that. And then I drink 5 Pepsis while I'm at the table. Just keep them coming, right? Plus 2 margaritas. And then I expect to fit in that dress. And then I expect, do I really expect? Maybe we should look up the word expectation. So anyway, make sure, right? You see where I'm going with this, right? Make sure that your thoughts, your words, and your behaviors are in alignment with the things that you expect. Make sure that you are operating in where you're supposed to be operating. Make sure that you're in the lane that you're supposed to be in. And here's what happens, right? And I'll get the comments in a minute. I appreciate you guys so much. As you're driving along, as you're going through life, right? God will show you signs to help you get back in your lane. So I shared an experience I had yesterday, something that, I was drifting out of my lane and, I hit the rumble strips, whoa, and I caught myself and got right back. Oftentimes, some of us, we'll just feel the rumble strips and we'll just drift on off and we'll just go anyway. We'll ignore that. I saw a post that said, when I see a clear sign from God, I go to God and say, all right, God, can you send me a signier sign? And that's us. We've all been guilty of that. I know I have. It's like, it's clearly a sign. It's clearly something telling you need to make an adjustment. You need to shift. You need to get your focus back. You need to get yourself back in alignment. The rumble strips, right? But I'm going to ignore the rumble strips. Right? And I'm going to just keep on pressing. I'm going to just keep on going. And what will happen is we got to be careful because then God will turn up the heat. Oh, you going to ignore the rumble strips? Okay. Let me blow a tire. Now I got your attention. Let me cause an accident. Maybe it'll be a near miss. Maybe it'll be an accident, 2 cars in front of you. If there's a near miss and it's like, whoa, let me get focused. Let me pay attention. And then it can escalate if you keep on ignoring the signs, looking for a signier sign, right? And it doesn't have to be a negative thing, whatever it might be. The signs are everywhere. The omens are everywhere. God is speaking to you through the people, places, and things that are showing up in your face, right? But oftentimes we ignore those things, right? Because we want to cut the grass because the grass needed cutting. We want to do this and we want to do this when we were supposed to be washing the dishes, right? Hope that all makes sense. Let me see. This is so rich. Thank you, sis. Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, Stacy. SJ said, preach. I was trying not to preach, but I kept seeing scriptures pop up in my head. It was a part of the assignment. Exactly. The cut was exactly. And think about that, right? I'm glad you highlighted that. So a lot of times when the cut occurs, discouragement will try to creep in. Oh man, if this is what I was supposed to be doing, why would this happen? Why would this happen? No. One of the rules for life is that life is happening for me, not to me. So yes, okay, I was in alignment, right? You can check your steps, right? Okay, I was supposed to do this. I set out to do this. I took a step toward this. I'm walking my proper path. Right? I got cut along the way. Okay, this cut happened for me. What am I supposed to learn here? Okay, boom. Make sure this is in order. Make sure that's in order. Okay, and now when life does happen along the way, now my antennas go up. Okay, there's some lessons here. I don't say, oh, woe is me and God. Oh, if God called me to this, why would this happen? And where blah, blah, blah. And I start going through all that, having a pity party. No. That's the wrong way to handle it. When the cut occurs, your antennas should go up. You should say, okay, there's a lesson in this cut. Okay, let me get this patched up. And now I'm on high alert because now every interaction, I'm like, I'm ready. Are you the one? Are you the one he sent to help me? Okay, no. Oh, he sent me to help you. Ooh, could it be? Let's look at it another way. Could it be that the cut was to get you there to meet Johnny because Johnny was thinking about ending it all. Johnny was contemplating suicide. Johnny was thinking about leaving his wife. But then he was sitting in the waiting room with Reese. He had no idea he was about to get inspired to go home and to patch things up with his wife. He was about to get inspired. He was about to, his belief, his faith was on E, but I came in there overflowing with it. So what if the cut was a part of, what if the cut was to get me to go somewhere and serve? So I could have went because there was a blessing in it for me. And of course the service is a blessing as well. But what if the cut, or what if the cut was to get me to meet Johnny and have a great conversation with Johnny, and for Johnny to say, wow, you know what? My 20-year-old son is really going through it. He came to me. I really didn't know how. Can you talk to him? Of course I can. Get that joker on FaceTime right now. We don't got to wait. We waiting on these jokers anyway. I got time. Get him on FaceTime right now. Let's do it. Right? Or what if it's me and my wife, we doing this and da. Let me give you some insight. Let me give you some game. Tell me what's going on. Let me serve you in this moment. So it's so important to stay on task. It's so important to stay in your lane. It's so important to complete your chores before you try to drift over or off into something else. Ooh, that was good. That was good. I felt that one myself. There's a blessing. There's an opportunity to serve. It's happening for you, right? And even the bird crapping in your mouth was for you, because it was a reminder. It was the rumble strips. It was like, I was supposed to be washing the dishes. This bird wouldn't. Now I'm gargling 55 times trying to get my business right. Everybody laughing at me when I done missed my assignment, right? Now that person's blood is on my hands. I don't know. Any questions on this one? And I quote, have you completed your chores? Shout out to Mike for dropping that one in our conversation yesterday. I had to grab that one and run with it. The cut was indeed part of the assignment. Stay on task, do your chores, stay in your lane, remember who you are, think thoughts, speak words, and take actions that are in alignment with your purpose, with your dreams, with your goals, with your expectations, right? It's great to help people, but it needs to be in alignment. Sometimes you have to say no to an assignment that's not a part of your alignment. That's another one. I don't even have time to go deep into that one. Sometimes it might be an easy fix, but that's not you're on assignment. God said, go here. And on the way there, you see someone that needs help. God told you to do this, right? And then you get a call on the way that derails you from doing that. And you were on assignment. Man, listen. Every day you should do something that's related to your chores. Absolutely. You have chores every day because you're here for a reason, and you're living in, and your role is to walk out your purpose, right? It's to step into your purpose. It's to make progress towards your dreams and goals. And so there's always something to do, and there's always something to do that's moving you forward. I really wish you... You're welcome. Listen, you're absolutely right, SJ. Every day you should do something related to your chores. So we have to be listening. We have to be open. We have to just think about it. What do you want to happen? What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your desires? Listen to yourself. Listen to your gut. Start think about it, right? Speak about it, and then start walking it out. So, and be careful not to get sidetracked, because good things, positive things can sidetrack you as well. Those are the things that are trickier, right? The grass needed to be cut, clearly, right? I wasn't just going to cut the grass, and it didn't need to be, the grass needed to be cut, but that wasn't my assignment. And that took me out of alignment. And now I missed an opportunity to serve, and or I missed my blessing. And the bird crapped in my mouth. So there was a lot going on in that, right? Any questions? I got 5 minutes. Any questions before I bail? This was awesome. Big Mike again. I don't even know if you're on here, but if you are or aren't, I appreciate the quote. Have you completed your chores? Man, I needed that. I really needed that. As I always say, I'm always first partaker. I'm always speaking basically to myself and just letting y'all listen in. Well, apparently today, I was talking to Khalida as well. My man, I appreciate you, brother, talking to Khalida as well. So yes, this was for us, for sure. Any questions I can answer? Got a quick 4 minutes. Or any comments? And I quote, if you have a quote that, that you would like me to dive into, I wanted to jump on, but my chore was to listen to you. There it is. See? And you jumping on would have been great. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you would have added some more value to this conversation, but your assignment this morning was to listen, was to receive, was to start to process and start to filter your life through this information. So thank you for being obedient, right? Thank you for being obedient. That's a big deal, right? So you might cut your hand, but you don't have no bird crap in your mouth. Any questions before I bail? I really appreciate y'all. This was fun. Looking forward to diving into this every day. Having this good fun time here. And I quote. So, anything? I'm gonna wait a couple seconds. Where's my coffee? Oh, you're welcome indeed. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the support. Oh, my brother, I appreciate you. Thank you. This was definitely for me first and foremost, and I'm glad that it was able to connect with something in your spirits as well, because we're all guilty of it at times, right? We're all well-meaning individuals, but sometimes we start drifting. But don't ignore the rumble strips, because it can get worse. Don't ignore the bird crap in your mouth, because imagine what happens next. The next thing would have been a rock would have popped up from that mower and cracked, chipped your tooth or something. No, I think we're good. Well, this was, again, awesome. I appreciate y'all. Have you completed your chores? Stay on task. Enjoy the rest of y'all day.